Death on the Nile. That's right. It's your favorite movie from the pre-pandemic era because everything Fox is currently, I say Fox, pseudo Fox, everything 20th Century is releasing supposed to come out 2 years ago, back when the world was fine. But nope, you know what? Kenneth Branagh had a passion project a couple years back when he made Murder on the Orient Express. It wasn't that good. Albeit I'm not an Agatha Christie diehard, so I've never really knew the storyline for any of those. I did know it's a murder on a train. And it was fine. I think the ending was probably better for a time period that's not the 2010s. And seeing that ending in the 2010 audience is yeah, this is stupid. But Death on the Nile, filmed, before 2020 at least, with your favorite cast of characters and actors from before 2020 at least, because half of the cast in this movie, Gal Gadot, Russell Brand, Letitia Wright, Armie Hammer, all leads in this film, well, they're probably from an era when, they were probably better off pre-pandemic because they've all had some controversy. And that to me is the best part of this film, is just seeing oh yeah, look at all these actors who wouldn't work together today because they're all problematic. This is probably the last time we're going to see Armie Hammer in a leading role. This is probably one of the last times we're going to see Letitia Wright in something post, Black Panther. It's kind of fascinating. I actually think it's impressive because it's not a bad film. It's easy, it's kind of lazy, but it's kind of fun at the same time. I think all the stuff I like about this film is because of Kenneth Branagh. Kenneth Branagh is a fantastic filmmaker. He did Belfast this year too, and it's weird to think that Belfast and Death on the Nile are coming out so soon, but you're no, he filmed Death on the Nile years before he did Belfast, and now it's coming out. Belfast is a better film, but he definitely has a direction he's trying to take with this film. There's a big scope to it, showing the beauty of Egypt and the culture around it. There's a lot of that going on in here, and it works well. And Branagh's portrayal of Poirot is just amazing. The guy knows what he's doing. He clearly gets the pseudo Sherlock Holmes vibe from it, and it's just a really fascinating portrayal. It's the highlight of the film. Every time he's on screen, you're this guy is smart, this guy's engaging, he is confident, he is cool. When he has his moments, when he actually solves the case, it's really satisfying, it's really well directed, and that's an impressive feature, because sometimes you have the actor as the director, those stylistic choices clash where it doesn't always work out perfectly, but I feel there's such a passion behind doing the Agatha Christie stuff for him that he's no, I know exactly how to make this look. I know exactly how to build the tension. It's not really Sherlock when we're going to have the quick ideas forming in his brain and he's going to react accordingly. We're seeing him struggle to build the case, and then when he actually builds it, that's pretty cool. So I gotta say, Kenneth Branagh is the highlight of this film. He is the most interesting, he's the most entertaining, he is the best actor in the movie because a lot of the supporting cast ain't the best, and I like most of these people. Pre or post whatever they did, they can act okay. That excluding Gal Gadot, because she is very tone deaf in a lot of her performances. I will commend Patty Jenkins till the day I die that she's I could actually get a performance from Gal Gadot, because no other director can. There's the bit going around, enough champagne to fill the Nile. It's really badly acted, and when her character is the one that bites the dust first, I 100% support it because I don't want to see her on screen anymore because she's not adding anything to the story. She's literally chewing the scenery in a way that is so annoying and over the top, but it's not over the top because Gal Gadot can't do over the top. It's just her type of acting gets louder as opposed to her acting getting louder. It's just frustrating. Same with Armie Hammer, who is just your all about beautiful boy, being completely useless at every turn. He is so annoying, so uncharacteristically boring that it just sucks. And when you have them as the top billed actors in this thing, it definitely sucks because everyone else around this world is honestly really cool. Say what you will about Russell Brand, his character actually feels like a real character. Say what you will about Letitia Wright, she feels like a real character. Everyone else is really good. The actor they got to play Book, again, I'm not too familiar with the Christie stuff. If Book's a recurring character, that actor feels authentic to this world in a way it's exploring the world of Hercule Poirot in a bigger way. I did like that. And it made for something really cool. The directing was great. I do think the costume design was pretty good. There's some times where I'm okay, this looks a little run down, and maybe it's just because it was shot in that time period where it's like, okay, Fox doesn't know what they're doing. Let's just make a movie. It's weird to me that this film is big budgeted, because every time when I went to see Murder on the Orient Express, the theater was packed, and I'm like, really? For this? This is the thing that draws people in? The theater was pretty busy when I saw it here, pandemic excluding. But it's just weird to me that we're taking the chances with our money on this property. That's kind of cool, but I'm like, that's really just bizarre, because this could definitely be one of those mini series on a streaming service that's just 8 episodes of a thing like that. And I really think doing that would not benefit this kind of story. This should be the big budget, and it just surprised me that we're allowing it to do that, because a lot of other books just go to the streaming service. The fact that we're like pushing this is really cool. But it's bizarre just because you don't see enough of that anymore. It's a good mid-tier film, and we don't do mid-tier films anymore, which I really hope we start doing. We got the J-Lo and Owen Wilson film in theaters. Hopefully that pushes the mid-tier film back into cinemas, because they should be there. Not everything needs to be blockbuster franchise stuff. I do like that this is like, hey, we're going to put it in the theaters, and it's an interesting story. It is cooler than Murder on the Orient Express. Again, I haven't read the book, so I can't compare it to that, but it's a fun story about love and hardship, and it was like setting up a betrayal along the way. It's really cool. I think the actual like setup and reveal is kind of obvious, but it's a good kind of obvious where you buy the relationships, you buy the idea behind it, and you buy the way that Perot puts it together, because it actually makes sense. It's something nuanced, it's fresh, it's kind of cool. That all works really well. Overall, it's not a bad film. It does some weird stuff, it makes some weird choices. It's not that interesting at times, but I would watch it again if it was a different cast doing something better. If the dialogue playing of Kenneth Branagh, I think it'd be a stronger film, and I'd have more interest in seeing a sequel explored in this world. But as it stands, this is a pretty good wrap-up to the Poirot character that Branagh has created. Great directing, great use of just, I guess, boat work. I don't know what you'd call... I didn't really see if it was filmed like on an actual boat or not, but it's pretty cool to look at, so that's kind of interesting. Sadly, there is enough champagne to fill the Nile, and Gal Gadot reminds you of that at every time she's on screen. So, it hurts it a lot, and that's going to be a problem for a lot of people, but if it's not a problem for you, there you go, Death on the Nile. Interesting, creative, it's definitely a choice. But it's kind of cool that a mid-tier film can actually get released in theaters still. So Death on the Nile, I am going to give a 5 out of 10. Now, thank you guys for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, and I will catch you in the next one. Have fun, stay safe, good luck.